A shocking family fight is tearing apart the British royal family right now, and the palace is trying desperately to keep it quiet. Queen Camilla is furious. Her grandson has been completely ignored while Prince George receives honor after honor. Behind closed doors, heated arguments are happening that could change the monarchy forever. Palace insiders are whispering about family meetings that end in tears, about a grandmother's desperate fight for fairness, and about decisions that reveal ugly truths about how the royal family really works. This isn't just gossip from tabloids, this is a real crisis that shows how one family's private pain has become a public disaster. Right now, as you're watching this video, there's a young boy who goes to sleep knowing he's not good enough for the royal family. He sees his step-cousin Prince George getting titles, ceremonies and recognition while he gets nothing. He attends family dinners where everyone pretends everything is fine, but he can feel the tension in the room. His grandmother, Queen Camilla, watches this happen and feels the same rejection she experienced for decades before becoming queen. The pain is real, the anger is growing, and the consequences could destroy the royal family's carefully maintained image of unity. But here's what makes this story absolutely explosive. It's not just about hurt feelings or family drama. This is about power, money, and the future of Britain's monarchy. Every royal title comes with financial benefits, security protection, and official duties that can be worth millions of pounds. When Prince George gets these titles and Queen Camilla's grandson doesn't, it's not just symbolic, it's about real resources and real opportunities. The royal family is essentially saying that some grandchildren matter and others don't, and Queen Camilla is no longer willing to accept this quietly. Palace sources reveal that the situation has become so bad that Queen Camilla has stopped attending certain family events. She's been heard saying that if her grandson isn't welcome as a full family member, then maybe she shouldn't be there either. King Charles is caught in the middle, trying to keep his wife happy while maintaining centuries of royal tradition. Prince William supports his father but worries about the damage this fight is causing to family relationships. Princess Kate tries to keep her children away from the adult drama, but even young Prince George is starting to notice that something is wrong. When you receive a royal title in Britain, you don't just get a new way to introduce yourself at parties. You get access to the sovereign grant, which is the money Parliament gives to support the royal family. You get police protection that costs taxpayers hundreds of thousands of pounds every year. You get invitations to state dinners, official ceremonies, and international events that can shape global politics. Most importantly, you get a voice in family decisions that affect not just the royals but the entire country. Prince George, as the future king, automatically qualifies for all of these benefits. He was born into the direct line of succession, which means his path was set from the moment he took his first breath. But Queen Camilla's grandson exists in a completely different world. He's the same age as Prince George, he attends the same family gatherings, and he's just as much a part of the royal circle in private settings. However, because he's connected to the family through marriage rather than blood, he gets none of the official recognition. He has no titles, no financial support from the royal budget, no security protection, and no clear role in the monarchy's future. He's royal enough to know all the family secrets, but not royal enough to share in the family benefits. This difference creates a painful dynamic that anyone who's ever felt excluded from their own family can understand. Imagine being at every family celebration, but never being included in the family photos that get published. Imagine knowing that your step-cousin gets everything handed to them while you get nothing, not because of anything you did wrong, but simply because of how you're related to the family. For a young boy, this kind of rejection can be devastating, and Queen Camilla sees her grandson experiencing the same exclusion that once made her life miserable. Queen Camilla's journey to becoming queen was filled with exactly this kind of rejection and exclusion. For decades, she was the woman who destroyed Charles and Diana's marriage in the public's mind. She faced death threats, media harassment, and constant criticism from people who blamed her for the royal family's problems. When she finally married Charles in 2005, many people still refused to accept her as a legitimate member of the royal family. She had to fight for every bit of recognition she received, and even now some people question whether she deserves to be called queen. Now she's watching her grandson face similar exclusion, and all those old wounds are reopening. Palace insiders say she's been researching historical precedents, looking for examples of step-family members who received royal recognition. She's been meeting with constitutional experts, trying to find legal ways to secure a title for her grandson. She's even threatened to use her influence as queen to make this happen, regardless of what anyone else thinks. For Queen Camilla, this isn't just about one title, it's about whether her family will ever be fully accepted into the royal circle. The situation reached a breaking point during a private family dinner last month. According to sources who were present, Queen Camilla directly confronted King Charles about the unfair treatment of her grandson. She pointed out that the boy attends all the family events, knows all the family business, and behaves just as well as the other royal children. She asked why bloodline should matter more than character and family loyalty. She reminded Charles that her family has supported the monarchy through difficult times and deserves better treatment. King Charles reportedly tried to explain that royal titles aren't about personal feelings but about constitutional requirements and centuries of tradition. He pointed out that changing the rules for one person could create chaos throughout the entire system. He assured Camilla that her grandson is loved and valued, even without official recognition. But Queen Camilla wasn't satisfied with these explanations. She argued that traditions can change when they're unfair, and that the monarchy's survival depends on adapting to modern values of equality and inclusion. The argument became so heated that other family members could hear raised voices from the dining room. Prince William reportedly tried to mediate, suggesting that they could find ways to include Queen Camilla's grandson in more ceremonial events without actually giving him a title. Princess Anne, known for her direct approach to family problems, apparently told everyone to stop acting like children and figure out a solution that works for everyone. But no solution emerged from that dinner, and the tension has only gotten worse since then. What makes this situation particularly complicated is how it affects the children involved. Prince George is old enough to understand that he's being treated differently from his step-cousin, but he's too young to understand why. Child psychologists who study royal families warn that this kind of disparity can create guilt, anxiety, and relationship problems that last into adulthood. Prince George might grow up feeling guilty about his privileges, or he might develop a sense of superiority that damages his ability to relate to others. Meanwhile, Queen Camilla's grandson is experiencing what experts call royal proximity syndrome, being close enough to royal life to see all the benefits but far enough away to be excluded from them. This creates a unique form of psychological stress that can lead to resentment, depression, and behavioral problems. The boys' relationship with each other adds another layer of complexity to the situation. They're step-cousins who probably enjoyed playing together when they were younger, but now their different status levels are creating barriers between them. Palace staff describe an increasingly uncomfortable atmosphere during family gatherings. Everyone tries to act normal, but the underlying tension is obvious to anyone paying attention. Conversations stop when certain topics come up. Seating arrangements at family dinners become diplomatic challenges. Even gift-giving at holidays has become complicated, as people worry about giving presents that might highlight the differences between the children's status levels. The public reaction to news of this family drama has been intense and divided. Social media platforms are filled with heated debates about fairness, tradition, and the future of the monarchy. Supporters of Queen Camilla argue that all royal grandchildren should receive equal treatment, regardless of how they're related to the family. They point out that modern families are complicated, and the royal family should reflect contemporary values of inclusion and equality. Traditional monarchists strongly disagree with this position. They argue that royal titles have specific constitutional purposes and can't be handed out based on personal feelings or family politics. They worry that changing the rules for Queen Camilla's grandson would set a dangerous precedent that could undermine the entire system of royal hierarchy. They point out that many royal relatives throughout history have lived without titles while still being valued family members. Constitutional experts warn that this seemingly personal family dispute could have serious legal and political implications. Royal titles are technically granted by Parliament's authority, which means any major changes would require political approval. This could open up broader discussions about the monarchy's cost, relevance, and role in modern Britain. Some politicians might use the opportunity to question whether the country needs a royal family at all, especially one that seems unable to manage its own internal conflicts. The financial implications of this dispute are also significant. Each titled royal family member receives support from the sovereign grant, which comes from taxpayer money. They also receive security protection that costs hundreds of thousands of pounds per person every year. If Queen Camilla's grandson were to receive a title, these costs would increase accordingly. Given Britain's current economic challenges, many people question whether taxpayers should support additional royal family members, especially ones who aren't in the direct line of succession. Behind the scenes, palace advisors are desperately trying to find a solution that satisfies everyone involved. Some have suggested creating a new category of royal recognition that would give Queen Camilla's grandson official status without a traditional title.
Others propose expanding the ceremonial roles available to extended family members, allowing them to participate in royal duties without receiving financial support. Queen Camilla has reportedly rejected most of these compromise suggestions. Sources say she believes anything less than equal treatment for her grandson would still be unfair and discriminatory. The pressure on King Charles is enormous. As both a husband and a king, he has to balance his wife's legitimate concerns with his constitutional responsibilities. He clearly loves Queen Camilla and wants her to be happy, but he also understands that royal decisions affect far more than just his immediate family. Every choice he makes sets precedents that will influence the monarchy for generations to come. As this drama continues to unfold, the stakes keep getting higher. Queen Camilla's grandson is growing older and becoming more aware of his excluded status. Prince George is developing his understanding of his special position in the family and the country. The decisions made now will affect not just these children but the entire future of the British monarchy. The resolution of this family drama will reveal whether the British monarchy can successfully adapt to modern family realities while maintaining its essential character and constitutional role. It will demonstrate whether centuries-old traditions can coexist with contemporary values of inclusion and equality. Most importantly, it will show whether the royal family can solve its internal conflicts without damaging its public reputation and national significance. Whatever happens next, this story reminds us that behind every crown, ceremony, and constitutional tradition are real people dealing with very human emotions and relationships. The British royal family may live in palaces and follow ancient protocols, but they face the same challenges as any other blended family trying to balance different needs, expectations, and feelings. The outcome of Queen Camilla's fight for her grandson's recognition will influence not just this generation of royals but many generations to come, setting precedents that will shape the monarchy's future in ways we're only beginning to understand.